Thank you, Victoria. Well, I'll leave that to the man of the moment to tell all the stories because he's been here for 40 years. On behalf of Communications Fiji Limited, I'm delighted to welcome you to this very special evening. We are very, very happy to celebrate our 40th anniversary and this occasion with you. We are truly honored that you guys came to this event. We're happy that you were here. The Minister for Communication and the Deputy Prime Minister was supposed to be here. It's unusual for him not to be on time, Mr. Mano Kamikamida, but I'm sure he'll be here shortly, and we're expecting our other Deputy Prime Minister, Mr. Biman Prasad, to be here as well. Our other distinguished guests, our PNG FM Board Chair, Peter Aitzi. Thank you very much for traveling from PNG to be here, and his wife Teresa. Thank you very much. PNG FM Board Member Sundar Ramamurthy and his wife Jenny. The PNG FM General Manager Rosemary Baton. Thanks Shaza for making the trip. And from New Zealand, I'd like to welcome Farah and Chavez Parkinson. Obviously the children of our founders, Mr. William Parkinson and his wife Suki Dean, and Chavez's wife, Libby. Thank you very much for coming. It means a lot to us. Like Victoria said, I would also like to acknowledge our online followers who are in Fiji and abroad watching this right now via our live stream on Fijivillage. But tonight is not about just reflecting on the past. It's also an opportunity to say thank you to you, our loyal clients and partners, many of whom have been with us for almost 40 years. What started as a bold vision that William had has developed into the Pacific region's largest and most influential media company, Communications Fiji Limited. Thank you very much for your ongoing support and trust and collaboration that has made this night and everything possible. And now to officially open tonight's celebration, it is my honor to introduce the man who started us all on this crazy journey. He is a giant in the media industry and the founder of Communications Fiji Limited, as well as our chairman, Mr. William Parkinson.
Well, it's a special time and the start of 3 days of celebration, and it's great to start it off with our partners. And this event's been called a client event. I'd rather it be called a partner event, and I think that's a better description of the relationship we've had. You might have noticed that the Vogue Dance Group, another partner of ours, and we've done a lot of work with Vogue, hope you're all going to, they started with Rock Around the Clock. And that's particularly appropriate because it was the first song that we played back on July 5, 1985. And I still remember that because we chose it for obvious reasons, the first 24-hour radio station. Secondly, it was an anniversary of that song from Bill Haley. But I also remember clearly when we played the song and we explained that we were going to be a 24-hour music radio station. Sir Leonard Usher, who was the venerable former publisher, long-time publisher of the Fiji Times, the look of horror on his face at the idea that somebody would be playing popular music 24 hours a day was quite extraordinary. Little did he know what was going to happen. Anyway, a little bit of nostalgia first, and thank you, Charles, for acknowledging all the various guests that we have had here and come quite a long way to join us for this event. But a little nostalgia. When I started back in 1985, aged 23, arriving back in Suva after completing university, this rather privileged Matt Wilson always used my business partner at the time, Matt Wilson always kind of, he used to describe me as bumptious, was his favorite description. You can look that one up in the dictionary. It really means brat, I think, is a good description. And I was. And we were all really rather bumptious in those days. Average age, well, we were all under 30, so it was, we're very young. We had no idea what we were doing and where we were going and what it would take to make this thing happen. Suva's FM96 barely reached Pacific Harbour. In fact, I don't think it reached Pacific Harbour. It was, you had to get a big bamboo pole out to get it at Pacific Harbour. And we thought, right, well, this is just going to make money. Well, those early years, a lot was learnt. And I thought that I would start by acknowledging the support that we got, and I got, from the business community here. I think many of you, I was dealing with your fathers in the days, and parents in some cases. But in particular, of course, we had, as an early supporter, Harry Punja, a legend in his own right, and he was our first chairman, and his guidance and support was very important for me as a young person, as a young entrepreneur, but also gave me a little bit of credibility within the community, within the business community, and that allowed me to start to make some inroads. But it was hard work getting people to take me seriously and take the organisation seriously. And so a lot of lessons learned there. In particular, I've got a tremendous amount of admiration for the Gujarati business community who we dealt with in those early days. I learned about hard negotiation first, tough negotiation. Unfortunately, Suren Patel can't be here from R.B. Patel's, but I recall going down to R.B. Patel's head office in Waimana Road here, above the supermarket, and negotiating with all his brothers at the same time. And that was an interesting experience. Does any of you know the R.B. Patel brothers? They could all talk at the same time. But what I did learn from those days was, number one, it's all about delivering. You deliver what you promise. You negotiate hard for the price. You get the right price, and you deliver. And you deliver 24/7, 365 days a year. And so that became a core part of our philosophy. The other one was you deliver at the minimum possible cost. So wastage became part of our core philosophy as well. And so right at the heart of this organisation, it's about thinking about how do we maximize return on investment by minimizing wastage. And all those people in blue shirts around here will know that message, which is hammered home over and over and over again. And those lessons for me as a young businessman came from all of you, and as I said, in many cases, your parents who were out there helping me and supporting me. And that I will always be truly grateful for. In fact, so much that Suren and a number of other friends of mine in the Gujarati community christened me the White Gujarati. And that is a title that I'm very proud of. And I work hard to live up to that every day. Tomorrow night we will be celebrating the alumni, and we've had an amazing group of people who have been through the organisation. And I would like to highlight the first employee in this organisation. The first person who I signed up was actually Suki Dean. Now, there might have been a bit of strategy involved. Sufi, I'd like you to come up and join me here because together over the years, as we built our working relationship and then our personal relationship, we've gone through a lot. The experiences of military coups, all of those types of things that we've been through over the years has really helped shape this organisation and really forge this organisation in many respects. And that's really at the heart of everything we do as well, is that experience of saying, you know, there's not much that we haven't experienced. Once we add in PNGFM and everything we've been through over the last 30 years of PNGFM, we can meet pretty much any challenge you throw at us. There's not much we haven't dealt with over the years. So that is at the core of it. As we look to the future, and I'm not a great one on anniversaries, I was sort of really thinking about this 40th anniversary, but I thought, no, there are some opportunities for us to, as some of you heard this morning, build brand in the workshops that we had this morning. There's some opportunities to really grow CFL and CFL's brands, which is why I wanted to get out there and have this big event and start to share this message. Because looking to the future, like many media organizations, particularly traditional media organizations, and by that I mean TV, newspaper, radio, the future is particularly murky. There's so much going on around us, swirling around us, so many challenges coming our way. And so we've had to really think carefully about how do we tackle that future. I like to think all those lessons that we've learned across the years really place us in a great position to do that. In particular, you would have noticed that we were very early on the digital front. fijivillage started, I think we were talking 1997. It's hard to imagine that. The fijivillage was launched right at the beginning of the internet. And we've continued to build that brand so that now it is the #1, certainly the #1 news website in the country. And I believe the #2 site in terms of traffic behind Fiji Airways. And during the COVID, of course, we were #1. But that was an important step forward. We've added to that the kind of work that now we do with social media. Tomorrow we will be celebrating with our alumni, and I've warned my team here that they're going to have to deal with a lot of these old guys coming up and saying, in our day we used to, well, in their day it was a very different game. Now our personalities, our teams, our content producers, they're not just broadcasters. And social media becomes an important part of their DNA and what they do every day. And so that's something that we were talking about today. Thank you to our consultants, Steve and Catherine Toms, who were here. Had a wonderful session this morning looking at all of that. Well, on that note, there's something I raised this morning, and I'll raise it again with you. I am concerned. I want to credit, we also have our partners from the Fiji media here tonight. I think we all face in the Fiji media considerable challenges in terms of the future. And what worries me in this digital world of social media is how does a democracy function in this environment of differing opinions, facts that are just made out, that we can drive policy and other things based on just people's opinion rather than anything based on solid, hard facts. And I do believe that both here and in other countries across the world, in the Western countries in particular, we will see a move back to those traditional, trusted brands of information providers. And that's a key thing if we are going to function as a democracy. So I would say to all of you as advertisers, please, when you're thinking about the investments you're making in terms of marketing, support your local media first, and then think about sending money to Google and to whoever else, Facebook. Okay? If we are going to operate and function as a nation, we need local media to survive. We need local trusted sources of information. And I think that's absolutely critical. So that's something that I just leave with you. I'm not pitching CFL necessarily. I think it goes across all the media. I think it's an important message. On that note, unfortunately, Deputy Prime Ministers are not here. I wanted to thank them for, I think, what is a particularly bold move on the behalf of the government of Fiji. I know they cop a lot of flack every day, but one of the things I'm very grateful for is their decision to make an investment in local media, in local private media. For years, one of the things that we've built our reputation on is public service. We don't just see ourselves as a commercial organisation. In fact, in terms of infrastructure, we are the only broadcaster with our own independent broadcasting network, transmission network. We have the biggest reach of all the broadcasters for that reason. And that comes from not commercial reasons, it comes from commitment to public service. And that's just one of the areas that we've committed ourselves to. So when the government announced that they would share some of this public service money around and partner with us to run the various campaigns we're running, it has come as a great relief, and it has given us an opportunity to continue to grow and build our brands and, once again, go back to that theme of trusted sources of information. So I think that was quite a unique and bold move. I don't think anybody else, no other government in the region has done it. I don't recall many other governments around the world who've made that kind of commitment. Now, that doesn't mean that we're not going to hold them to account. As you know, Vijay Narayan and his team are doing that every day. And of course, we acknowledge also as part of that was the commitment from government that that's what they expected as well. So that's the big step forward for us. So I do believe that the future is bright. There are opportunities for us going forward. We're excited. I said this morning, I just wished I was starting out my broadcasting career again. You know, the kind of things that I watch our young personalities doing online, on air, producing all this video material, wow. And this morning we heard about all the opportunities that AI brings and the kind of things that are coming our way. It's an exciting time to be in this business. It's an exciting time to be in marketing. So thank you once again for your support going forward. We truly appreciate it. We truly recognize and value your partnership with us going forward. And I think I'm going to leave it with going back to some memories. We've got some memories coming up, so thank you very much. Enjoy the evening.